Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Fernando, and if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video, and smash the like button to show your support. I am going to talk briefly about a question that I get asked every time I meet someone. I do travel a lot. I travel to Latin America very often, and when I meet someone and I tell them that I travel to Colombia, they find it very exciting because they tell me that they're interested in going, and they hear a lot of people traveling to Colombia and they would like to do it, but they're afraid. The first question that comes out of their mouth is it safe? How safe is it? How easy it is to travel to Colombia? And I'm going to give you my opinion. I am not Colombian. I grew up in New York, and I am of Dominican descent. So, I don't. I'm gonna give you an honest opinion of what I think about Colombia because I love it so much. I've been to Colombia so many times, and every time I have a wonderful experience. I visit a new place, but the place that I visit the most is Medellin. Medellin has this attraction to foreigners because of the movies and the mini TV series, and they all talk about the drug cartels and the women and all this thing. And if you notice, all this is set back in the 80s, war on drugs with the Colombian cartel. But all that is gone. I'm not saying that there's no drugs or that there's no cartel. We have drug cartels in every part of the world. But this video is not about that. I just want you to get an idea of, what Colombia is now. The Colombian government have worked, and the people that have suffered so much because of this, they work so hard to make changes in Colombia when it comes to that, to change that idea and of that negative idea that people have about the country. Yes, there's crimes everywhere, but you'll find that anywhere. I mean, I go to New York and there's crime. I am in Indianapolis, Indiana at the moment, and there's crime. I mean, anywhere in the world there's crime. That's something unavoidable. But like I said, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into cost or prices. You have to do your own research. And I just want to give you basically the the best ideas that I have of how to when I travel to Colombia. Yes, you can meet beautiful people. The people are very friendly, very nice. The food is great. Each town has something different to show, or each province. Um, you have, Medellin. You have Bogota, which is the capital. You have Cartagena, Cali, and they all have different things going for themselves. Different weather. You could go to certain places that are extremely hot, and you could go to places like Bogota that at night you need a jacket because it gets really cold. Medellin changes a lot too. It rains. It's like a spring weather all the time. Um, just like San Diego, California, that they have, or Denver, that has this really good weather. When you travel, do your research. Most of my research when I first traveled to Colombia, I did it on YouTube. I affiliated myself to certain hotel apps, and I read a lot of reviews. Just go through the reviews. People complain about everything. I've seen reviews where people complain that they only had, two towels in the room when they needed six. But they needed six and there was only two people. If you want more towels, they'll provide more towels. But, we are spoiled. And this is why we need to travel in other countries that we learned how good we have it in the States, and get a different perspective of life. Um, After you do your research, um, there's three places. Let's say Medellin, they have three places: Poblado, La Candelaria, and Laureles, which are my three choices when I stay there. Poblado is a little more upscale, more expensive. They do have a lot of nice restaurants and nightclubs there. But 15-minute drive, you get to Laureles, and you have the same thing. You have a lot of nice places to stay. You have a strip, La Setenta, where you have all your restaurants, all your bars, all your nightclubs, and you got street vendors, food vendors, and I mean it's alive. At night, this place from Wednesday to Sunday, this place becomes alive, and you could walk no problem. I never had any problems, but I use common sense, and I suggest that you use common sense. Don't be flashing your $1,200 phone around. Don't be flashing gold jewelry. Don't flash a lot of money. I always come out with X amount of money per day and my debit card. I leave I make a copy of my passport, my driver's license, and I try to keep like my passport and all the important things in the hotel. If you stay at a hotel, most places have a safe that you can lock your stuff up in the room. If you stay at an Airbnb, just lock your stuff in your suitcase and leave it there. You don't need to be walking around with your passport and all that stuff all the time. Trust me, they know that you're a tourist. But I always make a copy. Once I get there, I make a copy of the stamp that they give you in customs when you come in, immigration, and of the front page of my passport as ID, and I always carry a copy of my driver's license. If they need to double check that, trust me, the police will go with you and double check it. But at least you have something to prove that you're in the country legally and that you're there as a tourist. Money. I never change money in exchange companies. I always go to the bank. They have like Bank Colombia, which is one of the major banks there, and I use my debit card, withdraw money from the ATM. They give you, I believe it's up to $200 in Colombian pesos, which amounts to about 600,000 pesos per transaction. You could do several transactions, but this is what it does per transaction, and this is what I do. The sun is setting, so we're losing the light. You do your research on the hotel, you make your reservation, you buy your ticket, your plane ticket, make your reservation, and call the hotel. Tell them that you're going in for the first time. If they know someone or if they have someone at the hotel that can pick you up. Most of the time, they do have a personal driver that will go and get you, a taxi or a private car, because they get a commission from the driver every time they get them a new passenger. So they do it. They'll talk to they have certain drivers that they'll pass down the information so they can pick you up. Always call the hotel, tell them. I always stay that the first time I travel to a different country, I always stay at a hotel the first time. Why? Because you don't know where you're going when you get an Airbnb. So the hotel, at least it gives you a an idea of what you're getting, where you're staying, things to do. They have tour packets that you can arrange a tour. Buy your ticket, reserve the hotel, call the hotel to try to get transportation, get to the airport, go through customs. Make sure you fill out your international form that they give you on the plane. Coming back to the States, you don't need it. Most airport are up to date and they don't need that. They have a kiosk that you fill out that form. But going to Latin America, you need to fill that out because they're not up to date there yet. Once you fill everything out, make sure you have the address to the place where you're staying. They're going to ask you how many days you're staying, your purpose of your trip, how much money you bring in, all these questions. Why you come into the country, So you give them all the information. They'll stamp your passport. You get a 90-day visa. You could extend this visa after 90 days once. But after you extend it for 90 days or for 180 days, once that expires, you have to leave the country and not come back for another year. So if you meet someone that you like and you want to come and visit them often, I suggest you do a visa run. Go to Panama, go to Mexico, go back, come back to the state, and then fly back and get another 90 days. Because if you use the 180 days, they won't let you come back for another year. So you get picked up at the airport. You go down to your hotel. You check in. You talk to concierge or front desk. Set up some packages. Go out, mingle with the locals. If you want to meet a nice girl, I suggest you go to the mall, you go to restaurants, you go to stores where people are already working. Go to a park when people take their lunch and they go have lunch. Meet people in the train, meet people on tour. Because if you want to meet a nice girl, you have to meet a girl that's either going to school or working, depending on your age. My age, I like someone adult, 38 and up is my age. 33, 35, 38, 40, 42, I don't care. They got beautiful girls of every ages and every stages. But if you are young, a younger crowd, and you want to meet someone nice, and these girls are always looking for a serious relationship. They don't want the tourists that come in and be with them one day and that's it. For that, they have other means and other ways. And I don't recommend those ways because there's some people that are doing this all the time, and eventually you could put yourself in a predicament where you could get robbed or you could get hurt. So I stay away from all that. Other than that, just come in, go in on the list, make your plane reservation, make your hotel reservation, call the hotel, let them know that you'll be coming. If they have transportation, so you could use them. They have Uber. You could use Uber. Call the Uber and use it. It's a different way to pay because you don't pay through your credit card. You pay cash. So every time you use an Uber, most of the time the driver will tell you to sit in the front because the taxis, they still get upset that they have Ubers out there. So there's a lot of places where they will still tell you to sit in the front. If there's more, two of you or three, they want one of them to sit in the front just to make it look like you locals and stuff. But they're very safe. So, and you have to pay them cash. The app will tell you how much it is, and you pay them cash. So you do that. You have your transportation. Use the public transportation. They're very easy to use. Go out. Go to the parks. Go to the museums. Go sightseeing, and meet nice people, friendly people. Eat the local food. You meet a nice girl. Fall in love if you're single. If you're coming with the family, there's a lot of things to do with the family too. So you have a whole range of things that you could do in Colombia. Colombia is very beautiful. To me, it has been very, very safe. I use a lot of common sense. Hopefully, this video has helped you to understand a little bit more about Colombia. There's a lot of police officers all over the place, and you'll be surprised how many of these police officers have knowledge of different second languages. They speak English, they speak other languages because they get trained overseas, a lot of them. So they come in multilingual, and you're going to have a great time. This is it for me. It's getting dark. I will bring you more videos on Colombia and help you. If you have more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So please put them down below, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the like button.